the single greatest way to combat negative emotion overall in life is to pursue fulfillment over anything else, right? Pursuing happiness, the quick fix what everyone goes to when they're dealing with stuff emotionally, is to turn it off. That's the human reaction, is to just find the quickest way to not feel bad anymore. Usually that takes the form of some sort of distraction, scrolling, substances, any way to just shut off the piece of your brain that's thinking about this thing that is dwelling, like this negative emotion that's hanging over you. You just turn it off. That's the baseline reaction. But that does nothing for you. It is probably the worst thing you can. Well, it is just terrible. Because it just delays that negative emotion from hitting you. That's all it does. It is in no way going to make the situation any better. You're just sitting in it and pushing it off and pushing it off. You're procrastinating dealing with the emotional toll. And pursuing happiness from that is not really obtainable all the time. And it's not, you're dealing with this like super heavy negative emotion. If you're just pushing through and like trying to like fake positive emotion, it's either unobtainable or just fake. Like there's no real substance there. I mean, maybe some people you can do that, but I think for most people, trying to you can't really just flip a switch and feel good again. Like you have to, do something with that negative emotion, and rather than just like sitting in it. Well, I mean, ultimately you have to sit in it and deal with it. But the point I'm trying to make is that from that place, pursue fulfillment, not direct, feedback of like, doing things that try to make yourself just like immediately feel better. And maybe, those things are good in context, but in an overall life sense, right? Not in a singular moment. Because in a singular moment, maybe you can, find yourself happiness and take yourself out of that place. But overall, in like the view of your life, if you're in that deep, unhappy with your life kind of spot, it's not something where you're just going to feel okay again. Pursuing fulfillment, because that's what brings that peace of mind. That's what ultimately will bring you out of that deep negative emotion. It's pursuing fulfillment over anything else. Because fulfillment, it will increase your day-to-day life. It will increase the quality of your day-to-day life. Even if your daily life is harder, you will have a better environment. You will be more aligned with your goals, more aligned with what you're meant to be doing. Chasing that, regardless of how you feel, if you feel like shit and you just say fuck it and that you pursue that anyway, your life is going to benefit from that action. Over, it might not be direct feedback. It might take some time, but you are going to be increasing your quality of life while you're still feeling that emotion. And then, as you process it, as you sit in that emotion and deal with it, while you're pursuing these things, your life quality is increasing. And as your life quality increases and as you're dealing with emotion, right? You can't also just distract yourself by doing this, by pursuing this. Pursue this and deal with it. And then by the time you're through processing all the shit, your life is also significantly better than it was back here. And there's going to be some degree of distraction regardless. It's going to happen. You do it like to protect yourself from feeling it all at once. But as much as you can, letting yourself sit with it so you're not just delaying it. At least, allowing yourself to process a little bit each day. That's it. That's all it takes. And then while you do that, while you go through that shit, focus all of that negative emotion on improving your life, in the way that you know you want to. If you know you're hurting from something, hit the gym. Like while you're dealing with that, at least have those base things that you know will feel good, like really long term, will make you feel good and fulfilled and increase your quality of life. The gym, business, your career. Focus on those things. Don't distract yourself with those things, because I've been guilty of that. I've turned everything off to just go all in on this and use that as a distraction. That can, you can severely limit yourself by doing that too. But as you're processing these things, as you're dealing with these things, put all of that negative emotion and all of that, unhappiness, that negative, just terrible feeling into something productive. And as you deal with it, you'll end up in a better spot. And I truly, truly believe that is the best way out of like a bad life situation. I've done it multiple times throughout my life, where it's just the lowest I've ever felt has been followed by periods of the most progress. Because of that, because of letting that negative emotion fuel forward progress towards my goals. Because that's the only thing that will make you feel good, is like true long-term. You just sit there scrolling all day. Let me paint you a picture. Early days of Echo, we used to take 6-day weeks. We would close on Sundays, the warehouse. Now we're 7 days a week, but we used to close on Sundays. And every Sunday, I would lie in my bed, sometimes just on my floor in my apartment, and I would just lie on my floor and scroll. And it was my least favorite day of the week. I had the most time. I never had time during the week. I would literally work like 12-hour days. And the one day that I had completely off, I would just lie on the floor and scroll repeatedly. Like I did not use this time for anything productive. It just, I fully just used it to turn my brain off. And it was just rot. It was the worst. Having that planned structure where I'm actually progressing during the day made me feel so much better, so much more fulfilled, it made me progress through that mental struggle that I was going through. Having those things throughout the day, working a 12-hour day felt so much better than just fucking lying in bed and scrolling all day. Similarly, right? If you're, later on, all right, a couple of years, when Baxton Thieben passed away, that was one of the lowest places I got to emotionally. Right. But following that was probably the greatest period of personal growth I've had in my life. Because and I definitely did just use work as a distraction to a great extent. But as I kind of came to terms with that, I started to process it as I was making these huge pushes here, using the negative emotion to push yourself. It's you're going to feel terrible. The thing that's going to deliver you from that, the thing that's going to make you feel better, is long-term pushing towards fulfillment. Chasing happiness is a fleeting, it's a temporary fix. It's not going to do anything for your life. It's going to make you feel better today. And that's good sometimes. I'm not saying that's bad. But long term, you are not going to rectify anything if you're not striving to make progress. I have been rambling kind of, and I really hope that I'm getting this point across. But if you're in that dark, if you're in that negative emotion right now, just first of all, let yourself experience it. Do not just push it off. Truly, and that sounds kind of abstract. Just take time where all you're doing is thinking. That's all it means. That's all I mean. Take an hour a day, 30 minutes a day. Put your phone down, lie in your bed, sit on the couch, whatever. Just sit there and just let yourself process it. Let yourself think. That's it. It's not like some like foo-foo like, oh, sit with your feelings. Just like literally just let yourself think. Let yourself think without scrolling, without turning it off. Do that every day. And while you're doing that, fucking do everything you can to push towards your goals. Because what is going to make you feel better, right? If you go through this period of grief or just overall negative emotion, and you come out on the other end and you look back and you were just distracting yourself the whole time, or if you take a look back at this time, you realize that you were progressing a little bit emotionally every single day, and you were also progressing a little bit towards your long-term goals every day. There's a clear path, and it's not clear in the moment because you just want to turn it off. But that's what I'm hoping this can do if you're in that situation. And like 2 people are going to watch this. And so, potentially it doesn't apply to either of you. But if you do happen across this video and this is something that you're going through, please just as much as you can, let yourself continue down the right path. Give yourself the time and the space and really put the thought and effort into aligning yourself down the right path as you go through that. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Free my homies eating soup because they in the can. That's all I got for tonight, folks.